Alrighty, everyone. I'm back here. I'm back here. I have returned. Why am I speaking of myself in the third person? Welcome back to DSP versus the Internet for April 15, 2023. This is part 3 of the show. If you didn't see the first 2 parts, check them out. They should be live here on the channel on demand. And thanks for being here live for everyone who is. Sorry that we had some internet fluctuations earlier, and hopefully those have been cleared up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. We're going to head right into the next slew of videos here. Remember, these videos are all nominated by members. So if you want to be a part of this show and control the content we do every Saturday, please consider becoming a member here on the channel. We just tied for the most members ever. 108 is the most we've ever had here on the channel. We may hit a new record today. We'll see. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Let's continue. Let's see what's next.
There are a lot of obvious questions about an automated bicycle storage park. Like, why? It's cool, it feels like the future, and importantly for this video, I'm able to attach my GoPro cameras to the bike to get some shots of how it all works from the inside.
I didn't even know these exist.
But when the alternative for bicycle parking is relatively cheap metal tubes concreted into the ground, well, why would you build something with lots of moving parts that's way more complicated and expensive? Well, if space is really, really limited, like here in Shinagawa in Tokyo, this can be a reasonable solution. Without the need for human access, you can fit way more bikes in the same footprint,
So
closer together and stacked vertically. No one wants to walk their bike up or down a 10-story underground ramp, but the elevator does the work for you here. The bike's also safe from theft or damage. This one above-ground building can store up to 200 bicycles in the vaults below it. So that was going to be the video. I was going to interview someone about this. But the company who builds these said, well, you know we do these for cars as well, right?
What?
Different scale,
Whoa.
same principle. And yes, of course, I'm going to attach GoPros to this car as well. Except this time, I'm going to be watching from underground.
Oh, this is interesting. This could be a huge solution to a parking problem in major metropolitan areas, right? For example, the few times that I've gone to Seattle, you got to park. They don't just let you park on the street. You got to park. And the parking lots suck ass. A lot of the parking lots, they're all self-service. They fill up. You end up going into the parking lot thinking, I'm going to park. No, it's full. You drive through the whole fucking parking lot. It takes you 5-10 minutes. And you're wasting time. It's really annoying. And it's expensive, by the way. The parking usually is pretty pricey. So I think this could be a very viable solution if they have an underground thing that's automated, and maybe it gets it if you have a ticket or, a code that you could type in. Oh, by the way, apparently I can't watch this. I'm serious. I'm getting copyright. I got a copyright for watching that video. That video? I got a copyright for watching that video. What the hell? Well, that sucks because I would have liked to see that. But I like the premise. I like the premise of underground automated parking for vehicles. I actually think that's quite good. Because it could save space, it could save time. Like I said, and by the way, I need to change out my controller battery, which I'll do in a second here. Those parking lots, you never really know if they're full or not, the self-service ones. So you waste a lot of time in a major metropolitan city waiting, going in, looking for a space, can't find one. Since that's all automated, right? That means you don't have to park the car. You just get out and then you could come back later. I like that idea. I mean, hopefully it's safe. And what I would be nervous about that is, oh, really? Mango Jewel Pod says that particular Japanese company in the video got sued. And so now they take down any videos that they're in. What? Seriously? Really? Huh. That's interesting. They got sued. What? Now, what did they get sued for? Because I was just going to say, what's the liability of the automation of the parking? Did someone's car get destroyed or fucked up? Did someone's bike get smashed? Right? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Anyway, before we continue, I need to get my battery swapped out here. Okay. That copyright thing is weird to me. Because that was a YouTuber, right? Why do we get a copyright match for the YouTuber. If anything, they should have claimed the video, but I'm surprised it got matched like that. All right, Carnival Science. This could be interesting. How to win.
11 feet.
So it's higher than a normal hoop.
11 feet.
Yep.
It's no secret that carnivals exist to make money. And to do that most effectively, they employ a bunch of little tricks to
they're
make you
scams. Carnival games are
overestimate your
scams.
chances
Everyone
of
knows
winning. In some cases to such an extent that it's basically a scam. So I spent a couple
Yeah, there was this one carnival I went to. I swear to God, it was the biggest scam I've ever seen. So the guy, it's an air gun. And he's like, you need to use this air gun to shoot the targets. Okay. So I pick up the air gun and I pay my money. I'm firing. There's literally nothing coming out of the fucking gun. Nothing's hitting. And I say to the guy, dude, the gun doesn't work. And he fucking says, yes, it does. And he has it. Guess what he does? He puts his hand over this area that blocks this thing, and then the gun works. So they're all scams. The only way you can win a carnival game is to know the scam or to get lucky. All these carnival guys are hawkers who are basically trying to cheat the customer and make a ton of money. I've seen it firsthand from these carnivals.
is coming down to this amusement park and observing and collecting data on all of the carnival games. So today I'm going to tell you which games are the biggest ripoffs and the scientific reasons why. I even Nancy Drewed how much the carnival actually pays for the prizes that people win. But there is hope, because I'll also show you some legitimate tricks on how to win the most popular games, along with what happens when you show up to the carnival with your professional baseball playing buddy who happens to play for the New York Mets.
Now I really like this video. I want to watch it. I really hope we don't get hit with copyright. Seriously. I really hope that we can watch. This is interesting to me. So please, no fucking copyright on this one. I'm kind of delaying it for a second to see if we get hit with copyright. We'll see. Okay, ready? Let's hope we don't get hit. This guy used to be a NASA engineer, did he?
Let's get started.
What are we gonna do first?
Any kind of legitimate investigation needs to start with solid data as the foundation. So with the promise of unlimited churros, I had some friends secretly help me collect data on all 24 carnival games for a full day. Not only did we capture how many times each game was played, but we also recorded how many times people actually won each game and the prize they won. And so the first observation based on the data we collected is that this relatively small park collects $20,000 a day off their carnival games alone.
That's not
to help
surprising.
frame the rest of the observations, we'll divide the games into 3 groups. The first group, you've got the random chance games. Games like these, where no skill is involved,
How are you gonna have
and you're
skill there?
basically just rolling dice. And for the second group, you have your skill-based games like the basketball shot, or the milk bottle throw, or the basket toss game, where if you bring some kind of skill or strategy to the table, you can increase your chances of winning. And the final category are the games that are pretty much impossible. These ones are borderline scams. There are 3 games in this category that lots of people attempted and nobody won. And if they did win, like in the case of the ladder climb, it was for a very specific reason, which I will address later. So let's start by talking about the random chance games. Calculating your chance of winning here is pretty straightforward. You just divide the winning outcomes by the total outcomes and you get a percentage. So in this case, there are about 1,600 total cups and 160 winning cups. So that's a 10% chance, or 1 in 10 throws will win. There are a ton of games similar to this, but the catch is they always use balls that are lightweight and have a high coefficient of restitution, meaning they bounce really well off things. This makes it much less likely the ball will end up where you originally aimed it. To illustrate this point, think how much easier this game would be with beanbags, which are heavier and don't
they
bounce.
Would stick.
With a ping pong ball, however, any imperfection in the aim of your original throw is magnified, which essentially randomizes things. If you have no skills, these are the games that you want to play. But don't get too excited, because even when you win, you lose. After some investigative work, I uncovered the source where they ordered their prizes from, and so even if you got lucky and won on your first throw, it would cost you $1.50 for a prize that cost them 45 cents. But you usually—
Are you really shocked? Honestly, are you really seriously shocked that the prizes are worth nothing? Absolutely not. The only prizes that we were something were probably the really big ones, right? Apollo, thank you for the super chat. I do not see a tip. I've been looking at my tips here, and there has not been a tip yet. So if you sent a tip, I don't know if it went through. You might want to check on your end and see if it went through. There's always a chance that there's a delay on my end getting a notification, but I don't see anything, just so you know, Apollo. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay.
you don't get it on your first try. So treating this as an expected value problem in statistics, it would take you an average of 5 times to land it in a yellow cup, which means you pay $7.50 for something that costs them 45 cents. In the case of the big prize, by landing it in the super rare gold cup, it's even worse. It would take you an average of 25 tries, which works out to $38 for something that costs them $6. And I'll add, the number of people we observed winning matched up pretty well with these statistical predictions. Now let's talk about the second group, which are the skill-based games. And one of the most popular in this category is the basketball toss, with 825 plays the day that we observed. Now, a standard three-pointer is 24 feet back on a rim that is 10 feet off the ground. But in this case, the line is 28 feet back on a rim that is 11 feet off the ground, which is subtle, but if you have a deadly three-pointer locked into your muscle memory, you will tend to miss short, which is exactly what we saw a bunch. The reason they have the big slope tarp in front is so that someone can't stand directly underneath the rim, where the height difference would be much more apparent. And here again, even if you go Steph Curry and drain your first $3 shot, you still lose because they only paid 80 cents for that basketball. Here's another example of getting you to overestimate your chances of winning by making subtle changes, because the table is slanted up slightly, which will reduce. You know what also got me about the basketball game that gives basketballs out as a reward? Why do you want a basketball? If you're if you play basketball, you're good at basketball and you can make the shot. Why don't you already have a basketball? Why do you want another basketball? That blows my mind. I mean, I'm playing the basketball game to win a basketball. What? Anyway. Horizontal velocity of the ball after the bounce. So even if you dominated this game all through college, your previous experience almost becomes a handicap. This measure your pitch speed game is borderline fraudulent, as their radar gun registers about 15 miles an hour too slow. And I know this because I measured the distance and then recorded it in high speed and counted the frames. This pitch was clocked at 69 miles per hour, but it's much closer to 84. For the milk bottle game, the only catch here is the bottles are metal and therefore heavier and more stable and harder to knock down than a typical bottle of that size. I've seen some carnivals though where these are bottom weighted, which would make them more steady and thus less likely to tip. To figure out which kind you have, you can ask to hold it, and the point at which it balances on your finger is the center of mass. The key to winning this game is hitting them right here with a hard enough throw to introduce sufficient kinetic energy. But don't throw it too hard, because we noticed those who threw their hardest usually sacrificed on accuracy. About 1 in 14 people knock this over on their first try. And then finally we have the basket toss game, and the key here is to have your first bounce hit on this front lip to reduce the kinetic energy enough that it won't bounce back out. About 1 in 10 throws will win on this game, according to our observations. And now this brings us to the final category of the near impossible games. I really like this video. This is fascinating to me. That's why I'm going to keep watching it. Thank you whoever submitted this one. This is pretty good. All right, the near impossible games. Let's see what's nearly impossible. There are 3 of them. On this first one, the goal is to shoot out this red
This is it! No, this is the game. This is the one that was a fucking scam. This is 100% the game I played, and it was a scam. It didn't work. Okay. Completely with this automatic BB gun. So the best strategy is to basically shoot a circle around the star to cut it out. Not only are the guns not accurate or precise, but the bigger issue is that you start out doing really well because there's enough surrounding paper for the BB to easily rip through like this. But Newton's third law tells us that you can only push on something as hard as it can resist your push. So at the end you have these barely supported pieces of the star that just move out of the way when the BB comes without building up enough stress to rip the paper. Out of 120 plays, we saw nobody win this game all day. The spring bottle game is also impossibly difficult. Again, it's a lightweight object that's really bouncy to encourage randomness, but the actual inner diameter of the ring is really close to the outer diameter of the bottle. This means that any throw besides this pretty much perfect one will send the ring bouncing away without settling in on the bottle. If you really want this bear, I suggest going on Amazon and getting it for $47. I literally can't tell you how much money this will save you, because of the 840 rings we saw thrown, none stayed on a bottle. Which brings up sort of an obvious rule of thumb. If you want the feeling of winning a game, do not stop at any booth that offers really big prizes. And for the final near impossible game, let me reiterate that as a Carnival owner, the most lucrative games are those which the customers overestimate their chances of success. No game is a better example of that than the ladder climb. I've never even seen that. Have anyone ever seen the ladder climb? I've never really seen the ladder climb at a carnival. But anyway, to talk about that gun game again, so that's exactly the one that I was playing, and you had to shoot the star, and he gives me the fucking gun, and I'm firing it, and none of the BBs are hitting the paper, and I'm like, dude, at least one BB would have hit the paper. And then the guy grabs the gun, watch this, and he shoots, and he's hitting it every time. And then he hands it back to me, and I go to do it, and I'm literally just aiming straight right at the paper, and none of the BBs are hitting the paper. And I was like, dude, this is a fucking scam. I just gave it right back to him. I said, this is a scam. You finished the game. And I walked away. Those things are horrible. Like that, I can't believe what a scam that shit was. Hey, I'm not even going to waste my time finishing the game because it's such a ripoff.
There's a subtle issue with this game that I think people realize, but don't internalize the significance. The ladder converges to be supported on the wall at 1 point instead of 2. If it was attached at 2 points, it's like crawling across a rope bridge, which is pretty easy. Let's pretend this is you, and if you shrunk all the weight of your body down to the average location, we call that spot the center of mass, which we'll mark with this dot. And once again, we can double check this is the right spot because it balances perfectly on one finger. If you draw imaginary lines connecting the different support points, that creates an area. And as long as your center of mass dot is within that area, it's impossible to fall off. But as soon as your center of mass dot is even a little bit outside of the area of supports, you start to rotate and fall off. And this is true no matter which way you orient it. If you've ever bent over to pick something up, you actually know this fact, whether you realize it or not. In this case, the region of support is between the back of your heels and the tips of your toes. When you reach over, you will naturally move your butt back to keep your center of mass in between those support points.
Definitely.
And if you don't believe me, try picking something up while standing against the wall so you can't move your butt back. At the very moment your center of mass is beyond your toes, you start to tip over. In the case of the ladder game, you're only connected at 1 point. So even though it looks wide because of the ladder rungs, that area of support reduces down to a line. So if you don't keep your center of mass directly above that line, you will start to rotate and fall off. In other words, to win this game, you basically need to be able to crawl across a tightrope. And you might think, well, I can do a slack line, so I can do this. But a slack line is actually much easier for 2 reasons. You can flail your arms and legs out to adjust your center of mass to keep it directly above that line of support. And your center of mass is higher, increasing your mass moment of inertia, making you more stable. In the same way, it's easier to balance this umbrella when it's extended versus when it's collapsed. So while there are a few videos that say tricks like maintain 3 points of contact, they're all basically useless because keeping your center of mass directly above a line is just something you have to get a feel for. That takes a lot of practice. But once you've had enough,
so what you'd have to do, my guess is, your limbs must all be extended, and you have to keep your body perfectly rigid and straight, and only your limbs are moving to keep you balanced. So you have to be like straight as an arrow going across the bridge. How hard that must fucking be? Yeesh. Okay, well, we get the gist of it now. I want to move on. We've not watched this for quite a long time. Good video. I really like this video. I learned a lot. And now I know that that gun that I got ripped off at the fucking carnival was a ripoff. It was a huge ripoff. So, okay, let's go.
Good afternoon, sir. My name
terrorizing
is
telemarketers.
from products. Are you having any kind of problems there with your septic tank, sir?
You know, between me and my other 2 roommates, we go to the bathroom a lot. More than you know, ordinary people, so I know, you know, we clog up the toilet a lot. Because we take a lot of dumps.
Mr. Price.
But you got to see the size of these logs, though. The toilet, you know, a lot of times it won't even flush.
Okay.
All the logs are sticking out of the water. It's disgusting.
Right. I can understand. I can picture that.
You ever get one that gets out of the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're waiting for a frog to, like, jump into the water off of it.
Do you notice any odors coming in from the outside?
Most of the odors are just coming from the bathroom.
Just in the bathroom. Is it coming from the drains?
No, it's coming from the toilet, from the logs.
That's just an odor that just gets created there momentarily.
No, it's there for a while. I mean, some of my dumps really linger.
Just out of curiosity, you're throwing your toilet paper down the commode?
Usually you have to throw it in another bag because there's so much crap in the toilet.
What the hell?
Trust me, those odors that you're noticing, well, not really, they're lingering. They're coming in from the drains, okay?
What do you mean? Some of it doesn't even go down the toilet, you know.
Let me ask you a question.
Sometimes we gotta chop the turds up with a shovel.
Yeah, I can understand that.
What? Sometimes we have to chop the turds up with a shovel. I think what it is that the guy's scamming. You heard he said, oh no, that's not, the smell's not from the toilet, it's from your drain. He's trying to tell him we want to do like a full drain cleaning. He's trying to scam him basically, sell him on like a giant service package. We're going to come and clean out all your drains and everything. He's like, dude, no, it's just turds. It's the fucking giant turds.
It's coming.
Oops, I fucked up. Well, hold on, can we get back to that? I skipped it. Fuck.
Okay. Have you ever used these products before?
No, but how are we going to get it in the toilet with all the...
Flush it.
But the turds are going to be in the way.
Well, don't flush it when there's turds in the way, okay?
Well, it always is, though.
There always is.
Mr. Price.
Yesterday, I couldn't even go in the regular toilet. I had to take an upper decker.
Okay.
All right. I had to take an upper decker. That's enough of that. I know Jim Florentine. He's a comedian. I've seen him before. He used to be on Comedy Central a lot back in the day, I remember. So, I had to take an upper decker. All right.
Yo, dude. Oh. No way. Is this real? Budokai Tenkaichi 4? Are you kidding me? What? Dude, I got tweet notifications. I'm like, hang on, hold on. What does that mean?
My camera's blocking him. So, should I delete myself for this? I'm going to delete myself. Hold on. Let's see his reaction.
Tenkaichi 4. Yes, you read that right. Yes, you can see us on your screen. I'm not waiting any longer to react to this. Like the video and subscribe because you guys know we'll be covering it all. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Please let it look good. Oh. No way. Why could I not been watching to be like, wait, what are they doing? Bro. Oh, this is giving me chills right now. I cannot
current game.
believe this is
The old
real,
game, isn't it?
dude. No way. What? Oh, dude! What? Get ready for battle! Look how good that looks! Oh! No!
I might detect a slight amount, just a ever so tiny slight amount of over fucking reaction. Do you understand the difference between when I do react content and when people like that do react content? And I think that's why someone suggested this. First of all, it's a 50-second clip he's reacting to. All it shows is Goku powering up, which you've seen 5 zillion fucking times in every video game, every manga, every show, every fucking anime, he's done it 5 zillion times, right? This is not anything new. It didn't even show the game. It was just Goku powering up. You look how good that looks. Oh, it's like, dude, can you do us all a favor? No, I mean this. Can you shut the fuck up? He got 400. Look at this. 435,000 views for him to scream at Goku powering up. 435,000 idiots watched him. And now I'm one of them. Because I watched it too. Shame on me. I'm part of the problem. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
What's up, everybody? Back to catching child predators. I've been catching a lot of heat for these. People have been saying, dude, you sit online and you act like a 13-year-old girl trying to have sex with older men all day. And I'm like, dude, what I do literally takes minutes, and they don't believe me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how long it takes for me to get 25 people to add me on Skype after claiming I'm a horny 13-year-old in the private chat. I have written up, says horny 13-year-old female here, add me on Skype for a good time. And then I put the username of the Skype. And I'm pressing send right.
This will be instant. He's going to get 4,000 requests,
now.
I guarantee it.
It usually takes a little bit for the first person to add me, but the reason I do so, there's been a lot of heat towards me for people thinking like I sit on here all day and like jerk off, like pretending to be a 13-year-old, which is pretty messed up. So I was like, well, let's just show them how easy this shit really is, which in turn shows how fucked up it is. And then people always like they think I mean, oh,
there it is.
One.
47
They'll
seconds.
start rolling.
I'm not.
So
That's not
like
surprising at all.
They think I.
No way.
I mean, I enjoy catching child predators. Like, it's cool because they're fucked up, you know, and it's kind of messed. And I kind of learned that how messed up it is, how easy it is. And then the other reason I do it is just because
Number two.
I enjoy talking shit to people. And why talk shit to some random person on Xbox Live when I could talk shit to like people doing messed up things. Oh, number 2, by the way, 3, 4. Come on, number 5. There's number 5. 6. So I forgot what number
this
is.
That. This is not surprising in any way, shape, or form. People are fucked up beyond belief. They think that stuff's online. It's not real, or they're immune to any kind of fucking, danger or prosecution, or you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. He posts up 13-year-old horny girl in a fucking Skype chat, and all these people all of a sudden want to add in. Like, dude, what the fuck is this shit? Right? Like, what is going on? These people are messed up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No.
He's getting
a
call.
He didn't add me, but he tried to call me.
He's getting a fucking phone call.
So, 9. Oh, jeez. What was it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Some of the usernames are like, Daddy loves younger girls.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, man? Come on.
Jesus,
14,
man.
15, 16 it is. Can we get a 17? 18. We got 18 on the board. So we're looking for 19. 19. Fuck, I keep fucking the number up. 19, 20.
Oh my god.
5 more to go.
It's still
21.
Going.
Lucky number
It's going to
22.
go forever.
22
He's going to
it
have like
is.
100
Johnny.
people in like a half an hour.
23 she is. 24. One more. Ha. 25. Johnny. 2 Johnnies. So what we got going on here is crazy. I just literally 25 potential child predators.
Yeah.
But that's
pretty
insane.
fucked up.
That's 25 dudes who just saw a horny 13-year-old add me on Skype for a video chat and added me. So yeah, I would say 95% of those people were fucking thinking that they were about to hop onto a video chat with a 13-year-old girl. So
I mean, can you even think of a single reason why someone would have jokingly done that? Even, oh, I'm gonna go on there and tell the girl, this is awful. Get off the internet. This is terrible. You're ruining your life. These people are fucked up, man. The internet is full of this shit. It's disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, that's it for part 3 of DSP versus the internet. I hope you're enjoying the show. Thank you for watching, and everyone who is supporting, thank you so much as well. And we'll be back with 3 more parts. There's 6 parts a week. So I'll be right back with more. Thanks, everyone. See you in a bit.